Welcome back to another trade video. If you're new to the channel, I usually do weekly videos going over my trades from the previous week and then what I have for the upcoming week. This video is about my favorite stock website that I use to find winning stocks and how I check the overall market trend every day. And before I jump into the website, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of my trades. Now let's go ahead and jump into the website. So the website is called finviz.com, and it is a website that I highly recommend everyone using, either for finding good stocks or just to see the overall trend of the market. So some of my favorite parts about this website are, first of all, the home page. The main sections on the home page that I like are this top section right here where it shows you how the overall market is trending. I usually have this website pulled up so that I can get a quick sense of whether the market is down or if it's trending up. In this graph, you can see it's opened higher than its previous day close, and it's kind of just been moving around the same range. But definitely a good way to get a quick sense of how the overall market looks. The next part that I really like is this section right here called a heat map. It shows what stocks are going up and which stocks are going down. So the darker the red, the more down the stock is going, and then the brighter the green, the more up the stock is. And this gives you a good way to get a sense of if the entire market is going down or if certain sectors like technology or communications are being impacted, or maybe people are cycling out of it. And you can also click on this and then get a much bigger view of the heat map with more specifics around each of these sectors. The next section that I really like on this website is the news and headlines section. So if you scroll down right about here, you will see a section that basically constantly updates as more major news comes in. And it gives you a really good sense of what is causing the market to either move up or down. And I usually do a quick skim of this right at market open or whenever I look at the market, just to get a sense and see what might be impacting the market or things I should be aware of. The last section on the homepage that I really like is this earnings section right here. It basically shows you all of the upcoming earnings for some of the larger market cap companies. And just, it's always good to have a sense of what companies are having earnings so you know whether or not you want to trade those companies or if you should stay away from those companies. But definitely a great section to keep your eye on. So those are the main sections on the home page that I use. The next part about this website that I really like is when you look up individual stocks. So for example, I'm going to look up AMD. They do a great job of quickly kind of showing you a long-term view of what that stock has been doing. But in addition to that, it also has all of these really good high-level stats just laid out right here. So if you needed to quickly check, how's this stock doing year to date, you could find that information, or just for the week, you can find that information. The other piece that I really like is, for example, if a stock jumps up or goes down a lot in one day, you can quickly scroll down to this section and it'll show you all of the related news articles for that stock. And it's a good way to quickly find out why a stock went up or down. So for example, you can look at May 28th and you could see some of the bigger headlines regarding AMD and get a sense of what's happening with AMD. And again, you can do this for any stock. So here you can see AMD was initiated a buy by some bank, so that makes sense why AMD has slightly moved up because of that change in sentiment. Now, the last page on this website that I really find useful and I think would be really great for finding winning stocks is the screener tab right up here. So the way the screener tab works is basically you have a bunch of options for filtering stocks. So if you have certain criteria that you look for, this is a great way to type in those filters and then find stocks that are similar and good for you to trade. And it's broken down by descriptive, fundamental, as well as technical. I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of the things that I like to look for and just walk through an example of how this page can be used. What I usually like to do is I like to order it by market cap, and then I will switch this to charts instead of overview so that you can actually get a full visual of how these stocks are moving. And then just as an example, if I was looking for some strong stocks that are trending upwards, some of the things that I would add in would be, first, I want to see an average volume over 1 million, just so I know that it has really good liquidity. And then for this example, let's say I'm looking for stocks over $100. Then on the fundamentals tab here, again, you have a bunch of different options, a lot of good things depending on what your criteria is. And for this example, I'm just going to say net profit margin positive so that we know the company is making a profit. Then I jump over to the technical tab, and here you can see you have, again, a bunch of different options. Some of the ones that I like to look at are, I like to make sure that performance is up year to date. I'll also add in that performance is up on the month. So let's add that. Then you also have volatility, RSI, gap. I'm going to say a price above SMA 20, price above SMA 50, and price above the 200 SMA as well. And as you can see, I've narrowed it down to 7 pages of stocks. And now I can kind of actually scroll through and get a good sense. So this one seems to have spiked recently, whereas this one seems to have been growing gradually over time. And that's just a really quick way to put in a couple of filters and then find stocks that look strong. And then, you can open them up in a different tab and then start doing a little bit more of a deep dive on them. Look at some of their stats, look at how other banks are looking at these stocks, and then kind of also check out the news related to these stocks. And again, you'd have to go through these pages and based on your own criteria, figure out which stocks look good. But this is definitely a quick way to see a bunch of strong stocks that seem to all be trending upwards and then making decisions based on deeper dives into each of these stocks. Another thing that I want to call out is there's this pattern one. So you can also go here and say, the stock has been in a channel up or a strong channel up. So for example, if I click channel up, again, it filters from 7 pages to 2 pages. And all of these stocks seem to be having a pretty strong uptrend over the last few months, which is a really good sign if you're looking for something to buy and hold long term. So this is a couple ways to just quickly filter for stocks. Again, highly recommend playing around with the screener tab, play around with a bunch of the different descriptive, fundamental, and technical filters until you find something that really works for you or use it to filter for stocks that you're looking for. Now, just going to highlight a couple of other things. If you're into foreign exchange, there's also a tab for foreign exchange. Just a quick overview, but you can also look at charts. And then again, you can move between the time frames. Some features are only limited to the paid accounts, but this is all being done on a free account. So there's a lot of great tools available for free users as well. But like I said, they do have a paid version, and I believe you get a different set of filters. You can run back tests, you can save different charts, and you can look at intraday charts. For me personally, I'm more than happy with the free version, and it kind of helps with my overall stock trading methods and gives me a great sense of the overall market. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below and I'll be happy to answer those. And feel free to share some of your favorite stock websites that you use every week to help you trade better. And I'll see you all in the next video.